to kill them as quickly as possible to fill your containment progress bar. Max out the bar, and a new door to the next layer will appear, letting you push even deeper. Initially, you can go up to 4 layers deep. The further you go, the harder it gets, and the more it pays out. But the timer is unforgiving. When it runs out, your run is over. So efficiency and route planning are key. The Overrealm is dense and intense, so we're giving you a new tool to turn that chaos into profit. Meet the Bottle Shadow. As you fill your containment progress bar in the Overrealm, you'll capture random shadows inside this bottle. Each captured shadow grants a powerful drop-related bonus for the rest of your current run. Now this can be anything, giving monsters a chance to drop extra flame fuel, increasing its rarity, or even granting a chance for an enemy to drop an additional piece of matchless or higher legendary gear. So the magic happens when it starts stacking. If you get lucky and capture the same type of shadow multiple times, the stacking bonuses can get crazy. Imagine stacking fuel drop chance, fuel upgrade chance, a mod that converts gear drops to fuel, and a chance to double all fuel drops. Yeah, the loot explosions this season are gonna be insane. Now, the Overrealm isn't really a stable place. When you enter a new layer, you might trigger a disturbance. These are essentially special map mods. For example, the Resurrection Disturbance might cause defeated monsters to respawn in a new form, granting bonus drop quantity. The Fall Disturbance will cause tentacles to rain from the sky, dealing heavy damage but also spawning waves of enemies loaded with extra loot. These events are dangerous and will test you, but they all follow a core TLI principle. The higher the risk, the greater the rewards. Now your progress isn't just reset every run. You'll earn a currency called Abnormal Gaze that you can use to unlock permanent upgrades in the containment dossier. This is basically a passive tree for the seasonal mechanic. You can unlock quality of life stuff like having drops gather for you, increasing the deepest layer you can reach, and this is a big one, a returning anchor. It's a personal teleporter you can place anywhere in the Overrealm to instantly zip back to. Perfect for optimizing your runs and not wasting a second on the clock. Unlocking these nodes does more than just give you passive bonuses. They also add to the pool of things that can randomly appear inside
really like
the
the
Overrealm.
Outlaws
You might
mechanic,
find
so for me
reverse
that's a
clock
win.
to extend your timer. A living gun may spawn, floating beside you and automatically firing at nearby mobs. Or you could trigger the Anti-Mimetic Cage, which traps you and summons a pack of elites that drop a massive pile of loot. On top of that, special rare enemies now roam the Overrealm, like the loot-heavy floating skull and a mysterious hidden boss known only as a door hunter.
I didn't play it that much either, man.
Next
I have
up,
no clue.
this season's new hero trait.
I wish I knew about Torchlight earlier though, because it's quite some info to go around.
Man only says, Bing! Don't do this! Don't do that! Or else
He
you'd be
looks like
backed
the
into
League
a
of
corner.
Legends character with the time. Can remember the
yeah.
name. Eco or something like this.
Newsflash! Inspiration and trouble are packaged deep. If you ask me, every wild idea is worth exploring. Come on! Life's a giant playground! You gotta think outside the box to really have a blast!
What happens when our resident demolitions expert Bing decides to trade random explosions for methodical genius? That's the idea behind his new trait, Creative Genius. This trait totally overhauls his playstyle. Bing's bombs are gone and replaced by 2 powerful inspiration machines. He now generates
Got
whimsy
so
essence
little idea what
and
to play on
ingenuity
this season.
essence, which fuel the machines.
I want
Think of
something
it
that hits
as a 2-part
quadrillions.
system. The blue machine is your setup and debuff. while the red machine is your massive damage payoff.
Really like Thea though.
By accumulating Whimsy Essence, the blue machine triggers a Whimsy Explosion, a debuff that increases the spell damage enemies take. Meanwhile, by building up Ingenuity Essence, the red machine unleashes a devastating Ingenuity Burst. Now this isn't your standard spell burst. It's designed to break the upper limits on burst count and intervals. Through your trait point selections, you can specialize the blue machine even further. For example, you can make his Whimsy Explosion generate a lingering energy field that grants you a spell damage bonus. Or you can add an extra kick to the explosion, causing a larger, delayed secondary blast that executes enemies whose life falls below a certain threshold. But the real game changer is Bing's new trait point system. He now gets to choose an additional trait point at each major level threshold. This means he has more opportunities for customization than any other hero. You can grab build-defining traits like Supersonic Protocol, which grants a burst of movement speed when you trigger your Ingenuity Burst. Law of Ingenuity, which gives your burst a chance to not consume essence, letting you sustain your damage output for longer. And finally, Contingency Inspiration Delivery, which instantly summons 3 temporary machines that start auto-casting your main skill for a massive wave of destruction. Creative Genius transforms Bing from a chaotic bomber into a highly customizable 2-stage spellcaster with one of the highest burst damage ceilings in the game. The sheer number of trait points lets you build him in a ton of different ways, creating a truly unique playstyle. And speaking of customization, this season we're introducing a new layer of customization that will completely change how you build your characters. Let's talk about the new growth system, Ethereal Prism. The Ethereal Prism is a new type of item that you can install directly onto one of your advancement talent panels, located beneath your base talent panel. So once socketed, it fundamentally alters that panel, supercharging existing main talents or even replacing them with entirely new ones. There are over 20 of those new main talents. For example, Effortless Command. It grants you so much energy that it unlocks every single support slot for all of your skills. So for builds that need multiple 6 links, this is going to be a true game changer.
Holy fuck.
Fortune's Flip. For the real gamblers out there. This talent grants you lucky damage, lucky critical strikes, and lucky evade. Now the trade-off? There's a 1/3 chance that any non-main skill you use will simply fail to cast. Guarantee Reaping. Reaping builds are getting a powerful new tool. This talent lets you consume your max spell burst stacks to trigger a corresponding number of additional reaps.
Yeah, that's the problem
all
with
of those
Torchlight.
extra reaps are released as explosions, providing some serious area clear. Finally, Dark Advance, a huge buff for summoners. Now this talent greatly reduces Dark Age's cooldown and increases its charges. What's more, it has a teleport to your Dark Age skill, effectively turning it into a powerful mobility tool. Beyond creating new main talents, the Ethereal Prism has another strategic layer. When socketed, he radiates energy, granting additional bonus effects to all nearby talent nodes. This creates a puzzle. Do you place it in a spot that covers the most nodes possible, or you position it to supercharge a few specific crucial talents? And if that's not enough customization, you can also calibrate your prism. This function lets you add up to 3 powerful affixes directly to the prism itself, allowing you to perfectly min-max it for your character. But of course, taking into account its build-breaking potential, the talent system only allows to equip one standard Ethereal Prism at a time. Now, I said you could equip one standard prism, but there is also an exceptionally rare and powerful variant, the Mirror Prism. This special mirror variant has a mirror image effect. It reflects talent nodes from one side of the panel to the other one, centered on the panel's middle. The real power comes from the fact that the values of these reflected nodes are randomly adjusted. So you can imagine something like a legendary talent with a +1 to all skill levels getting mirrored and then rolling into a +2 to all skill levels. Now here's the final piece of the puzzle. You can equip both at the same time, forcing you to think carefully about which 2 talent panels to augment and where to place your prisms to find the most broken placement and create something truly unique. Next up, we're bringing something totally new to the skill system: combo skills. This season, we're introducing a completely new skill system designed to bring a fresh feel to combat. Combo
I hope they overhaul the graphics.
Think of it like a fighting game. You have combo starters to build up combo points, and combo finishers that spend those points for a massive damage bonus. The more points you spend, the bigger the bonus. So now let's look at two new skills. For our attack-based players, there's Crescent Slash. Its combo starter is a quick free hit flurry. Its finisher is a powerful charging slash that fires off 4 damaging shockwaves. You can then use its exclusive support skills to customize it. Crescent Slash Rising transforms the finisher into a single, massive shockwave that instantly triggers deterioration on enemies, giving you immediate dot burst. Crescent Slash Flash ramps up your attack speed and the hit frequency of the finisher. For spellcasters, we have Serpent Beam. The combo starter fires a ricocheting beam of fire that chains between nearby enemies. The finisher unleashes a single, high-damage beam to nuke your target. Its supports open up new build paths. Torrent allows the finisher to work with Spellburst system, while Dual Spirits summons a Phantom Serpent that fires an additional beam alongside you. And of course, we've added a full brand new ecosystem of items and talents to support these new skills. First, the new legendary gear. The Vajra handguards are powerful gloves designed for combo builds, but they also introduce a brand new stat you'll see this season: Infiltration. More on that later. The body girdle is a belt that provides significant attack and cast speed, perfect for speeding up your combos. The Heart of Animita is a necklace that gives you new ways to generate combo points, increasing your finisher uptime while also packing some valuable damage reduction. We're also introducing some new Kismets. Dual Kismet Peerless lets you cast your finisher an extra time in a sequence, but with a stricter condition, making it a powerful choice for high-investment builds. The Kismet Ascetic gives your finisher a scaling chance to deal double damage based on the number of combo points you spend. The Kismet Tiger's Chain is a big one. It turns your combo starter into a vacuum, pulling nearby enemies towards you. The more you use your finisher, the larger the pull radius becomes. Now, speaking of, with all these new items and skills, kind of plays around the martial arts kind of theme, you might be guessing what kind of hero is going to be coming down the line. But that's something for another season preview. We've also introduced some new mechanics to our core combat gameplay. Let's quickly go over them. We felt the pool of general buffs and debuffs you could build around needed some expanding. So we're adding a new batch of mechanics to give you more tools to play with. For buffs, we've got stuff like Hasten, a powerful new speed buff that chooses your attack, cast, and movement speed all at once, while also lowering the cooldown of your mobility skills. Fortitude, a new defensive layer that enhances your hardened effects. Aggression, a dedicated buff for attack builds, ramping up your attack speed, movement speed, and attack damage. You can now also apply new debuffs like Frail and Torment. For spellcasters and damage over time players, we're adding Frail, a debuff that makes enemies take increased spell damage, and Torment, which amplifies damage over time. And remember that new Infiltration stat we teased at, now here it is. Infiltration is a new category of powerful elemental debuffs that not only increases the elemental damage an enemy takes, but also applies a secondary debilitating effect. Fire Infiltration makes enemies take increased fire damage and reduces their skill area of effect. Cold Infiltration makes enemies take increased cold damage and reduces their movement speed. Lightning Infiltration makes enemies take increased lightning damage and reduces their attack and cast speed. Let's take a quick look at the build-defining items you'll be able to find in the Overrealm. Verdant Steps. These boots are a must-have for Spirit Magus builds. They grant you ailment immunity based on your Origin of Spirit Magus effect, and you can even convert incoming damage you take into a corresponding element, providing a huge defensive boost. Krogal's Roar. Warcry builds are getting a powerful new helmet. Krogal's Roar rewards you for using a rotation of different Warcries by increasing their minimum target count and significantly lowering their cooldowns. Demon's Touch. Before, you loved Death's Touch. This season made its brother. These gloves turn your offhand weapon into a pure stat stick. It disables offhand attacks but adds your offhand final damage directly to the main hand's base damage. The scaling potential here is going to be absolutely insane. Torturer's Touch, the popular dot unique, is returning with a complete rework. It now provides affliction per second based on her affliction effect, and unleashes a massive damage over time reap when nearby enemies hit their max affliction stacks. On top of that, we've buffed the numbers on affliction-related affixes across the board this season, so expect dot builds to feel incredibly strong. And speaking of community submissions, one of the community-submitted Kismet designs is also making its way in-game. We've all been there. You find a sweet dream item with an incredible positive affix, but the negative effect is just too brutal to use. Well, that's about to change. Introducing Dual Kismet, Destiny's Betrayal. Once you equip this Kismet, all negative effects from Dream Interpretation are inverted and turned into positive ones.
Oh, what
Suddenly,
the fuck?
those terrifying affixes that everyone used to avoid become powerful new bonuses. This Kismet opens up an
Imagine the
entirely
price
new
on the
dimension
extra
of
slots now.
itemization, and we can't wait to see the powerful combinations you guys are gonna discover. Now, let's talk about some of the revamps and reworks coming to classic build archetypes. To enhance the playability of some classic builds, we've reworked the selection of their core legendary items. Legendaries that convert resistance into damage, like Frozen Path and Fleeting Sky, have had their stats strengthened and their conversion rate caps raised. Armor stacking builds. This archetype is now getting more offensive power. The mid-game Unbreakable Armor no longer applies armor to your barrier, but instead grants additional attack damage once you hit an armor threshold. For the endgame, Clinch Spring has been massively buffed to grant a significant physical damage bonus to attacks based on your total armor. Bloodthirst builds. The core legendary for this archetype, Crimson King, has undergone a major rework. It now provides a significant boost to both the build survivability and its damage output. Spellburst builds are getting a huge round of updates this season. First, we've removed the downside from the play-safe main talent. It no longer reduces the damage of skills cast normally, giving you much more flexibility. Next, the Solid River Helmet has been completely reworked. Your Spellburst charge speed now grants a significant on-hit damage bonus, and activating a burst will restore life and energy shield. But here's the game changer. Once you hit a certain charge speed threshold, reaching your mass burst stacks will now automatically cast your main skill on enemies in a large area and attempt to trigger its spell burst. This turns the build into a powerful and smooth autocaster. To support this new playstyle, we've also added new legendaries, like Law of
I want
Greed.
to play
It
everything
grants
in
you a
this game,
random
it's
buff for
problematic.
each layer of spell burst you have, and even lets your attack speed bonus apply to your burst charge speed, at the cost of reserving some mana. Also, good news for melee players. Leap attack is getting a massive field improvement. We've increased its base leap distance by 50% and adjusted attack speed so that shorter leaps strike faster. Most importantly, if you leap into a wall or obstacle, you'll now slide along it, just like Spiral Strike. No more getting stuck on pebbles. Last season's rework of the Necklace of Firebird was quite popular, and we're making a few more key improvements based on your feedback. Equipping the necklace now properly replaces your main skill with Barrier Burst, which can be fully modified by supporting gems to other main skill affixes. To address its lower cast frequency compared to other spells, we've also made it so that Barrier Burst can now trigger Spell Burst, giving it the damage potential it deserves. Beyond addressing individual builds, we also have to address fundamental game progression. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. The grind. We know the progression last season missed the mark for a lot of you. Many complained the grind was a bit too much, and you know how the jump from Time Arc 8 to Profound felt less like a curve and kind of more like hitting a brick wall. So this season we are addressing these pain points head on. Our primary focus was on smoothing out the difficulty curve, especially the massive jumping time and investment required to get from Time Arc 8 to Profound. Our goal is to shorten the time it takes to bridge that gap. Now, let's discuss some of the key changes we made. First, crafting is cheaper. We have half the Ember cost for crafting T1 affixes on all non-priceless gear.
Wow.
This should make the transition much less expensive. Curse unlocks. we've tripled the race for confusing dreams in dream interpretation, making it much easier and consistent to unlock your curses. Compass availability. To ensure compasses are always a viable part of your mapping strategy, rare quality compasses are returning this season. We're also doing a massive overhaul of the entire compass system, but more on that later. To smooth out that awkward period after using a time transition capsule, the level requirement for the highest tier weapons has been lowered from level 88 to 86, letting you start new heroes and jump into your new build even faster. Finally, we're making it easier to build defenses for deep space. Getting immunity to every single elemental ailment was a pain. So, we're changing those single immune to X affixes on gear to avoid X elemental ailment. It's a change that makes stacking your defenses way more flexible and achievable.
God bless. That was annoying.
Now that we've discussed much of the new content coming to this season, let's discuss things such as the Outlaw mechanic going core and some changes to some of our classic mechanics. First, let's talk about the Outlaw mechanic. We know many of you felt it had some issues last season. You know, the encounters took too long, maybe you thought the rewards felt kind of underwhelming, and yeah, we know the bodyguards were often frustrating. We've taken that feedback and made some major adjustments as it becomes a permanent part of the game. First, pacing in combat. The duration of a carjack encounter has been shortened to 25 seconds. We've also greatly reduced the invincibility duration on bodyguards, and significantly increased their spawn rate. The goal is a fast-paced and satisfying combat loop. As far as progression goes, we've removed the tower coin currency and streamlined the crime rating progression to be faster and more convenient. Your crime rating will now directly affect the maximum number of enemy waves, smoothing out the reward curve. We've also made the central vault a more efficient and rewarding experience. The number of small strong rooms has been halved to speed up the rooms. And the drop rate for the Professor's Source Pack Spirit now has a guaranteed progressive trigger for more stable rewards. As far as integration goes, the Outlaw mechanic will still be your source for mods and chips for the tower sequence system. We've also added a full suite of NetherRealm talents and compasses for it, allowing you to choose the difficulty and the rewards of the mechanic. The boss lineup in the Supreme Showdown has also rotated once again. On floor 20, the False God of Symbiosis makes its return. On floor 21, the Lord of the Void Sea stands guard. And in the Hidden Challenge, the Goblin High Priest of Fire has replaced the Plateau Dragonborn Beast. This season's returning mechanic is Condensed Energy. You pick up energy orbs on the battlefield to form a shield that can withstand a lethal hit. After the shield is maxed out, each additional orb you collect grants you a stacking damage buff, but also a stacking slow effect. You'll need to weigh the pros and cons yourself. We're also continuing to add a ton of quality of life improvements to existing content. First, we've renovated the Blade Breaker boss room. When you're defeated, you will now revive on a safe, separate floating island, preventing you from getting killed again the moment you respawn. Next, we're making the hot streak system much less punishing. Using a tower token affix no longer costs a true fossil, and we've boosted the odds of rolling high-tier affix values. Most importantly, failing a tower token corrosion roll will no longer destroy your entire legendary
item.
Feedback so
it will now only remove the base affix you were trying to reroll.
Wow! I mean,
we also received a ton of feedback regarding the looting experience last season.
That's why I like this game and PoE the most.
Implementing a large-scale overhaul.
When you have an update landing, it's...
This includes major changes to compasses, NetherRealm talents, and more.
I guess you played Blizzard games before, if you say that.
Frustration, and to make your mapping strategies feel more rewarding. First, let's start with the compass system. We felt that too many of the compasses were just simple stat increases, so we've added a batch of new legendary compasses designed to fundamentally change your mapping. First, the Divine Mechanical Compass. It adds several secondary statues to the Mechanical God encounters. You have to protect these new statues, but each one you save grants you a pile of extra loot. Onslaught Might Compass. This turns the God of Might statue into a giant, invincible dwarven automaton that attacks you from
a bigger update in Warframe.
If you can survive to stage 15, it becomes vulnerable. Take it down for a massive reward. Flourishing God's Compass. This
We're
one
playing
is for the
constantly,
players who
though.
love to boss rush. Each time you complete any 6 gods gameplay, you gain a stacking buff that massively increases the drop quantity for the next 6 gods encounter you do. Generous and bountiful elite compasses. We're adding more ways to juice rare monsters. One compass increases their drop quantity, while the other gives them a chance to become blessed, making them far more dangerous, but also more rewarding. Just as importantly,
need
we want to make
content
sure
that-
everyone can actually engage with these systems.
Taking a break from
So
like playing
to that
constantly.
end, we've downgraded
So I have
several
something to
popular
do.
high-end compasses, like the Flourishing Might and Brilliant Mechanical
lose interest,
compasses,
but I need
to rare
something to do.
quality and significantly increase their
I
drop
hate playing
rates.
game.
The
when I
rare
have
quality
nothing to do,
collection dog
like,
compass
just random
will
stuff.
also be returning. This should make these key mapping tools much more accessible
Definitely
and
the
affordable
updates.
for everyone.
I
We're also
just
making
wait
some
for them to
targeted
stack up.
adjustments to the Netherrealm talent constellations to improve specific strategies. The Might talent constellation has been improved. The old talent that reduced terror damage area has
what do
been
you mean?
changed
I've
to
got a
instead
soul, of
increase
course I do.
terror damage and significantly boosts drops. The Hunting talent constellation is being pushed further into a high-risk, high-reward identity, with both its difficulty and its drop potential being greatly increased. In addition, to help you develop early-stage looting strategies, we have added a new talent in the Profound talent constellation. When you complete any 6 gods gameplay, you will gain 1 stack of Blessing. Upon reaching 4 stacks of Blessing, a God's Treasure chest will be awarded. The chest contains a large amount of commodity-type items, with a chance to obtain 6 god emblems and a doll compass.
They should really turn on
Finally,
the loot filter
for
if they
our
show
most
it like
dedicated
that.
endgame players, we're introducing a brand new, high-risk, high-reward mechanic. You'll find these special cages in your maps. First, you defeat its guardians. Then, you attack the cage itself. As you damage it, the cage's seal will weaken, periodically releasing extremely powerful, original sin creatures, beings far stronger than even blast monsters, but with loot to match. This is a true endgame challenge, and it was originally designed to be run in deep space, and it has its own talent nodes and confusion cards to support it. Player burnout and ever-increasing game complexity has also kind of been a point of contention amongst the community in recent seasons. We know with every season the list of systems you have to engage with just gets longer and longer, and this can kind of make the game feel a little bit bloated. To address this issue and present a more coherent game experience, we have decided to experiment with rotating or removing certain overly complex mechanics. After a lot of consideration, the first system we'll be retiring is Soul Candles. This was a system from early in the game's life, and its functionality has actually largely been replaced by newer, more accessible progression systems. We found that its complicated rules, huge affix pool, and layers of RNG made it a massive resource drain, and even sometimes a point of frustration for many. We believe we can provide a better experience by removing it and improving the content that was originally associated with. Retiring the Soul
I
Candle
like to
system
farm
allows us to
Eterna, but I
completely
hate
refocus
making
and
any Soul
improve its core
Candles.
gameplay, the
It's
City
kinda
of
funny.
Eterna. As such, the City of Eterna is now getting a major overhaul. First, new rewards. We've adjusted the loot tables and added new Ember
My
rooms,
first big
turning
payout
the
was
city
from this.
into a dedicated place for farming embers. 2 of the powerful new legendaries we showed earlier, Krogal's Roar and Torturer's Touch, will now be exclusive drops from Eterna. The Sounds of Eterna talent tree has also been updated. All Soul Candle nodes are gone, replaced
I like this 'cause
with new
it's cheap
nodes
to-
that
yeah,
unlock
like-
and enhance the new
You
Ember
can buy
rooms.
this out.
We've also changed the reset logic. You can now fully respec all minor nodes at any time. If you had invested in Eterna Pack Spirits, they're getting a major buff. Their old Soul Candle
Oh,
drop
yes.
nodes have been changed to increase global drop quantity,
I forgot
making
this
them
guy.
more powerful and useful everywhere in the game. Now, of course, we understand that even with these improvements, some of you may just want to move on from Eterna. To respect that,
I'm
we're
fine with
running a
Eterna.
special 1-season-long event called the Pack Spirit Exchange Monument of Reforge. During this event, you'll have the option to exchange your Eterna Pack Spirits, like Monument Knight, Lattice, and Shocket, for a special Pack Spirit Essence. This essence can then be traded for a drop Pack Spirit selection pack of your choice. This is a completely optional way for you to repurpose your investment if you so choose. And don't worry, you can always reobtain any exchange Pack Spirits later through the normal boon system, but please note that this event will only last for the Overrealm season, and any changes are irreversible, so consider your options carefully. We're always working hard to improve the core experience of TLI. As such, we have a long-term roadmap of quality of life changes and updates that we want to bring to the game. Let's quickly go over some of those making it online this season. First up, the Trade House. We've done some major back-end work this season to clean things up a bit. You'll now see far fewer items which have already been sold, cluttering your search results. In addition, we've greatly reduced the delay that occurs when listing items, from up to 10 minutes down to at most 1 minute. So now reasonably priced items can be sold much faster. We've also fixed the price checking logic for commodities, so you'll get much more accurate, real-time pricing. Next, a massive change to crafting and trading. Corrosion. We found that many corroded-based affixes are crucial to
trading in this game has one of the best QOLs,
causes binding,
price
such
checking,
items
spot
cannot
and
freely
everything.
circulate, greatly increasing the cost to obtain them and causing some powerful
Although the
bases
tax
that,
sucks.
kinda don't fit your current build to just lose their value. Starting this season, when a legendary item's corrosion result is a mutation, the item will no longer
Corrosion
be
aka corruption
Next
for
up,
the
the stat
PoE
panel.
players.
We're breaking down more stats, like
It
showing you
works
the difference between
nearly the
focus
same.
speed bonus and additional focus speed bonus, so you can better see how your gear actually affects your numbers. Next up, ailment logic. We've made 2 key improvements to how ailments work. First, killing an enemy now counts for proccing ailments. For example, if you have a 100% frostbite chance, one shot in a mob will still apply the effect. Second, we fix the override logic. Your powerful ailments will no longer be overwritten by weaker ones from other sources. Next up, we're bringing some changes to hardcore mode. So to be perfectly honest, we were unsatisfied with the previous iteration of hardcore. Opening concurrently with a season server meant that players actually did not have enough preparation or knowledge going into it. And there was also the issue of incentives actually not being clear enough. So with this season, we're deciding to test out something totally different. Our first priority is to give all players time to learn the new challenges and mechanics of the new season, while at the same time providing greater incentives to actually partake in hardcore. To that end, hardcore mode will now open 4 weeks after the official season starts. For this season, that will be on Monday, November 6th. Hardcore mode will also now come with a new ranking mode, which comes with its series of exclusive rewards. Hardcore will receive more love going forward, with even more exclusive events planned for the future. Finally, we're overhauling the game's audio. We're rolling out a new mixing scheme that makes combat feel more visceral. Explosions and unhit effects will also have more crunch and impact. We've also tweaked skill and voiceover sounds to be less harsh on the ears, and balanced the background music to create a more immersive atmosphere.
What about graphics? Can you make them like scary graphics? Like dark graphics style, not candy.
And finally, let's go over the new events, back spirits, and cosmetics coming with the OVERREALM season. We have a full suite of events prepared under the Project OVERREALM containment banner. First, the Anomaly Archive. This is our new daily check-in event. Log in each day to claim supplies with rewards, including up to a 10 draw for Battle Pack spirits. Next up, Case File The Door. This is a main activity event. By completing OVERREALM runs, you'll earn progress towards a ton of rewards, including Pack Spirit Crystals, a rare seasonal drop Pack Spirit, and an exclusive weapon appearance. New player support. We are also introducing 2 new systems aimed at helping new players get started. First, the Dropper 7-day
By the way,
check-in
this game
event
already has
will
the
match
best
you a
new player
selectable
introduction I ever seen
legendary drop pack spirit,
in the ARPG.
as well as an extra 10 battle pack pulls. And by completing the campaign, you will receive the activation medium Motionless to help you jumpstart smoother gameplay and mapping. With the Realm Conquest Tower, we've also added some new late game events. In Profound Time Arc 8, you'll have a chance to earn Conquest Insignias from playing Watchers. Collect enough, and you can exchange them for weapon skins that look just like the ones the Watchers themselves use. Oh, and by the way, these insignias are
give me the
fully
fucking Thea
tradable on
site.
the auction
Is,
house.
is there a hope now?
Next up, Packed Spirits, Key of Overrealm. This is a seasonal drop pet. It has a chance to duplicate any items that drop in the seasonal mechanic and helps you capture more bottle shadows. And for her Battle Pack Spirit, meet Squidle. Her Squid Nova ability is a massive
will
boost
exchange
to
the
skills
fucking,
triggered by spell burst, making her
tower,
the perfect
Packed
companion
Spirit,
for the
for
nearly
sure.
reworked spell burst builds and Bing's new creative genius trait. And finally, the Black Sail Season's Packed Spirit, Starfish Chanter, has been added to Past Memories. You can also select her from this season's legendary Packed Spirit selection pack. Finally, let's take a look at all the new cosmetics. And if you missed out on some of the most popular outfits from past seasons, we're bringing back the Savage Shadows, Sweetheart Shooting Star, and Divine Punishment Apocalypse sets for direct purchase at a discount. Okay, quick recap. We've got the brand new Overrealm seasonal mechanic, a new trait for Bing, the game-changing customizable talent system, the new combo skill system, a massive overhaul to progression and loot, tons of new legendaries, balance changes, tons of quality of life updates, and so much more. The Overrealm season is right around the corner, coming October 10. We can't wait to see you all on launch day. Now stay tuned for the final patch notes and more news coming soon. That's all for today, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Well, it's actually everything about it I kinda love. Just besides the hardcore getting more love, because one day I can go insane and actually play it on hardcore. Yes, I do. Check out my YouTube. It's on there, the link in the info. And I'll be right back to play some PoE. So see you in a couple minutes.